And we are back working on this differential for this 1972 Pontiac GTO. Excuse me, 404 speed. And I laid all the parts down right here so you can see what I'm about to do. Um, on the previous video clip, I had painted and detailed the differential, as you can see there, and it's nice and ready to go. The only thing that I've done so far off camera is that I installed wheel cylinders right there on both ends and parking brake cables. But I'm about to do the brake job here, and then I wanted to show you all the brake parts that I got for it. First of all, there's the brake hardware. I went and painted all the brackets and stuff that go to the parking brake and everything that I'm going to be reusing, all of those right there, and the items that I'm going to be reusing. I am replacing the springs and the spring hardware, all that stuff that is nice and painted there. And I got boxes there for the wheel cylinders. You know, they're Ray Besta's brand, which is an excellent brand. I have the rear hose for the rear brakes, the flexible hose right there, and the two rigid hose or steel, well, actually not hoses, there's two steel lines right there in the middle. Those are the original ones. I was able to clean them up and detail them and paint them. They look in real good shape, so we're going to reuse those. There's nothing wrong with them. They're original. Those are the rear shoes that I'm going to be installing, also made by Ray Bestas. They're bonded shoes. You know, the braking materials bonded. That's why they call them bonded instead of being, I'm sorry, riveted instead of being bonded. They're riveted. Supposed to be a whole lot better and hold up better. And here's the other side, all the brake hardware, as I said on the previously. And it's all laid out right there, ready to go, beautiful, and ready to be installed. And then I wanted to show you the upgrade that I'm going to be doing here on the rear suspension. I got these trailing arms, both of them, the long ones and the short ones, and they're powder coated, and they have polyurethane bushings on them, as you can see in a close-up there. And they're also adjustable. These ones are, so I can adjust the pinion angle with those right there. And those are the shocks that I'm going to be using, made by KYB. So I'm ready to put all this back together. And also the polyurethane bushings that I have put up here, they're just sitting there. I need to press them in, but they look kind of cool. Got different colors on them, and they're also polyurethane, and they got last a lifetime. So another look at this diff before I assemble it all. I was able to paint the wheel cylinders, as you can see, to keep them from getting rusty because they were not painted from the factory. I painted the backing plates for the brakes right there also to keep it from corroding. Painted the axle so that everything will be nice and beautiful and like a new car, better than a new car because they didn't do that from the factory. I used some glossy paint on them as well right there, and we are ready to go. If you have any questions on this assembly, let me know on the comments. But I'm gonna try to put everything together here, and I'm gonna start with the brakes. So here we go. Let's get the brakes put on there. Okay, I'm all set up here. And I got all my parts here laying on the side. Got my wheel cylinder already installed. I'm gonna start by lubricating the contact areas where the shoes are gonna ride on and move. I just put a little anti-seize compound there, just a tad. You can see the little pads right there where the brake shoes will ride. And there's 3 on each side. Yeah, there's the third one. Sorry if I get in the way there, my big head. And then 3 on the other side as well. Just a little dab. Keep that lubricating. This is one area or one process that a lot of people will not do, and it's okay. You know, I was taught to do this back in the day this is how you do a proper brake job. Make sure those lubricating points are lubricated. And I also like to put a little bit here. That's where the shoes are gonna move back and forth. Yeah, it's gonna keep it from corroding. So doing that, put it to the side. Let's see, I think I'm gonna start with the parking brake bracket, and I need to hook it up to the parking brake cable here. It's a little tricky. I need to make sure that it goes in there. There it is. I just hooked it that way, and there is a left and a right, so make sure you're using the right one. I kept everything separate, so this is for the right side, passenger side. Also, let me show you real quick. So my new brake shoes, and I told you they were riveted. The linings are riveted, and it's better. They hold up better. I also told you that on earlier videos that the large or the big brake shoe goes towards the rear of the car, and you can really choose. Let me see. Hold it a different way. You can see how the surface comes up higher on this side than it does on this side. So always the big one goes towards the back. So I had already assembled and put in the lower spring with the adjuster to make sure that this part of the spring does not interfere with the adjuster wheel, because if you flip it the other way, it will keep it from turning. So let's see if this works for us this time. I'm going to slide it carefully in here without keeping it from getting apart. And then I'm going to hook up this parking brake bracket. Goes right into the slot right there. As long as we can get that in, we're good. It's got like a hook just to go in there. And that could happen. So anyways, we're just gonna go. It was already in there, I was just messing with it. So let's start all over again. Here, doesn't take that long, because I really don't want to have to struggle with this adjuster later. I want to put it all together as an assembly. Try this again. Real time, no camera tricks. Let's put it in here that way. I already had it in there, but I didn't think it was all the way in. Let's try this again, gently, with patience. Just want to make sure it went in there. And this little, looks like little bullets that go here, I call it, on the wheel cylinder. And they're in there. Keep it kind of together. I'm gonna put a spring on this side just to keep everything from flying out of control. And I'm going to use my trusty brake tool for the springs, as you can see. Hold everything together there. Stab and turn. Went right in there perfectly. I don't want to forget my equalizer bar here for the parking brake cable, because if we don't put it in now, it's not going to go in later. The sun is really shining here on my work. I don't know if it's going to mess up our viewing video here. So let me stop right there, check it, and make sure we're good. We'll put the one on this side. We get it ready. Mosquitoes are starting to bite. Yeah, that did it. Good. So there we go. Got that one in there. Need to reposition this bar that wants to fall out. Put it in place now. That's what makes this tool so much easier. See how that one just went right in. Then we have the one on this side, which is this one here. From there to right here. That one wants to be a little tough, but real time, real footage, no camera tricks, guys. So this is I should be left with this little short one that goes right here at the bottom, and that's it. What I like to do is pull on it to make sure everything's in place and make sure that nothing pops out. I can see where it's everything's in place, and everything is in place over here. And all we got to do now is when we put the drums, we'll adjust the brakes with the brake adjuster here at the bottom, and that's it. That's how you do it. Real time, real footage. It did come with a little cap that goes in the back. There's a little slot there in the back where you can put your brake adjustment there, your spoon we call it, and this covers the little hole, so we're not going to put that on until later. So we'll put that to the side. Let me show you a close-up so you can see. This is going to be the same as any General Motors of that era, up to, I think they kept on using this into the 80s on all General Motors brakes with rear brake shoes. And that's what it looks like. Pretty nice, if I might say so myself. And so there you go. Get a little closer here on this side so you can see some detail there. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna do the other side off camera. I figured you don't need to see me doing that twice, but yeah, it came out really good. I am gonna detail the drum later and paint it before it goes on this differential. So there you have it, guys. That's how you do the rear brake shoes on General Motors cars. This has been on the 72 GTO. So I'm gonna keep going and do the other side off camera. So let's do that. Okay, I just done the other side of the brakes. Now we're gonna be ready to do the brake hose and the steel lines. think I got all stuff that I need. Okay, let's try to fit this right here. Looks like this bolt's not gonna go through right there. I may have to drill that out a little bit different. Well, looks it goes in here. It does. So not gonna be a big deal. Just need to modify it. This specialized bolt that'll kind of got a big shoulder here. So we have to drill that out a little bit. Let me do that and I'll be right back. Apparently slightly different than original. Okay, let's try this again. I went ahead and drilled that out to accept the correct bolt. And now we're back in business. So let's put that in there like it's supposed to go. That wants to be a little stubborn. I'm gonna have to use the hammer on that, but anyways, there you have it, guys. The brake lights are on, the brake shoes are on, and we're moving closer and closer and get this thing completed. So there you have it, guys. Got the brake shoes on, all the brakes are completed here on this differential. Let me come around this way. Got the original hard brake lines installed right there. Original, and they were in good shape. Beautiful shape. Going right into the wheel cylinders there. And got the new hose there. And the new wheel cylinders over there. And everything looks nice and beautiful. Like I said, I did the brake shoes on the other side of camera, not to bore you with that, but there you go. And there's that completed, except for the upper bushings. They go right there on those Mickey Mouse ears. Look like Mickey Mouse ears right there. I'm gonna press those, and this thing will be ready to go into that frame. So we're gonna install all those parts right there, and then we're gonna assemble the rear differential to the frame. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you got something positive out of this video, please like and subscribe. And I hope I was of some help to some of you that are working on a similar project. This will apply to a lot of GM products from that year era: Oldsmobile, Buick, Chevrolet, and so on and so forth. So there you have it. Have any questions? Send me a comment. Please like, and you guys have an awesome day. Take care. Bye. Hey, and welcome back. We're going to continue the work on this 1972 Pontiac GTO. And I wanted to show you that what I've done so far on the differential. Lately I was showing you how I had done the detailing and getting the differential all nice and clean. And I was showing you how I was going to do some improvements on the suspension. And I want to show you now that I installed the differential on that. It's on there. It's loosely on there, but it's all together. I struggle with it off camera. So you can see the upper A-arms. They're aftermarket with the upper bushings that they go on the on top of the diff. It looks like gears, like Mickey Mouse ears. And then you can see the trailing arms. They go towards the front. They almost look like traction bars, but they're the trailing arms. And now when I cleaned up my brake drums and painted them, they're really red, almost orange red, and it's not really what it looks like here on video, but they're really bright, and that's what we used to do in the old days, so that you can see the red part of the drum showing through when you have the wheel installed. You can see part of it, and it makes it look finished and a little bit better, like the old school days. Anyways, there's my rear sway bar next to it. That's the original rear sway bar. I was able to clean it up and paint. And I'm doing the gas shocks there, gas charged shocks. And these are my rear lift springs. I ordered some new, coil springs. I ordered some new coil springs for the rear, but they haven't come in yet. They're on back order. So I just cleaned up the original lift springs, and I'm gonna put those on there for now. They're gonna be easy to replace when I get the new ones. I got the new cushions that go on top of the lift spring, as you can see there. And I just wanted to show you what this is looking like so far and give you an update. So we're gonna continue to put all this together right now. And let's get to work and button this thing up and put on the sway bar, shocks, springs, parking brake cables, and anything and everything that is loose on this differential. This is the original hardware for the rear shocks, together with the spacers and everything. And I was able to clean it up and paint it, I got all the rust and everything out of it. And I'm gonna reuse the original ones because they're original, and you know, if they're in good shape, they're perfect shape. I'd rather have that and keep it with the car rather than doing the aftermarket, which is right here on my right, which is totally different. But I'm gonna save these aftermarket ones for another project or just in case. But I'm gonna stick with the original ones, the original hardware, which is pretty neat. It's got this round head looking bolt here with its own sleeve and spacer and everything. So, well, spacer, washer. So I'm gonna reuse these instead to keep it all original as much as possible. The same thing with all the nuts and bolts, the original hardware. They go to the upper part of the shock, which are this original nuts and bolts here. I kept them, cleaned them, painted them, and same thing with I'm trying to use as much original as I can. The little clips, they go for the parking brake cables, they go through the frame there to hold them in place right here. So I just want to show you all that so that we can see how neat this is and how everything's gonna hold together. So let's continue to do this. position this sway bar. It's got a bend right here, but it's original. It's an original bend. That's to clear the differential center section. So let's try to just show it on there and see how it's gonna hook up. Probably gonna have to crawl in there and set it in place. Bet that'll help. It's gotta help. Go show you what I got so far before I throw on the drums. Brand new brakes, hardware, everything on the rear here has been reconditioned and made it look like new or better than new. We got the improved suspension with the aftermarket trailing arms, powder coated with polyurethane bushings. The same thing with the upper, with the cool looking bushings there, and the adjustable rods here to adjust for the pinion angle. Everything on the adjustment is loose, so I can set it later. Everything's tightened up. Got the brand new KYB shocks, low pressure gas. Got the old leaf spring, the coil springs, because I have the new ones coming, but they're on back order. So for now, it's gonna be easier to replace those later. It's not like the front ones where you gotta remove the whole suspension. On this one, all you gotta do is drop the rear shock and you can get to the springs. Really awesome the way everything turned out. Got the new brake hoses, along with steel hoses that were reconditioned. Those are original. Contour, beautiful. And let's see, let me give you a shot from the front here. You can see the sway bar. That's the original sway bar. All I did is cleaned it up and painted it. It's got the new hardware. You can see the other side of the control arm, the lower control arms with the new hardware and everything. Man, the suspension here in the back is looking really nice. I really like it. Let me give you another look from this side. And coming around to this side here, everything, all the hardware, everything painted, everything like new, ready to last another 50 years or 100 years. Parking brake cables are in place. Give another look from this side. All I need to do is put the clip on the brake hose right there, and that'll be completed here in the back. And throw the brake drums and the wheels, and then set it on the ground, and then start working on the front. We're gonna start working on the front on our next video. We're gonna assemble the whole suspension and everything. We're gonna give it the same treatment that we gave the back. We got new components coming in. I already have the new upper and lower A-arms and the front coil springs, and new brakes, new brake hoses. So we're gonna recondition everything, make it look like new, like we did here in the back. So I'm gonna set the camera down and adjust the brakes and put in the brake drums and the wheels and set this thing on the ground. Okay, I went ahead and adjusted the rear brakes and just to where they're just dragging, and I installed the brake drums. Just give me 1 second here. Sorry about this camera shake. I'll try to get situated. And I want you to hear what it sounds like when the brakes are adjusted just right. You hear that? And I can turn it by hand. They're just barely touching. I went through the little back window back there at the bottom, and I got my brake spoon, my brake adjusting spoon, and was able to adjust it properly. And that's what it should sound like on both sides when it's adjusted properly. That's what you want. So anyways, I think this is going to do it for the rear suspension, but I am going to show you when I install those rear wheels, just to set it on the ground. But for now, doesn't that look cool? Like I said, I did that just real life here looks orange red, almost red, more than orange. And so for it to show through the holes of the rims, that is detailed. That's what we used to do in the old days, back in the 70s, when I was growing up, in the early 80s, when we had these hot rods on the street. And I think that's the way they were doing it for a long time before me. So that's pretty neat, pretty cool. I got the other side as well done. Now that it stopped raining over here, got all that completed, and that's just adjusted just like the other side, same way. You can just barely hear it when you turn it. Everything's nice and detailed, just like new, actually better than new, because they didn't do all this detail work like I'm doing on this car, the 1972 Pontiac GTO. So I'm going to dig out those old wheels that I'm going to set it on for right now. Those are Pontiac Rally 2 wheels. And I also have a set of honeycomb wheels, but we'll see what looks best on this car. But for now, temporarily, we're just gonna get some regular wheels to set it on. Well, there you have it, guys. I went and dug my wheels out of my chicken coop back there. Is where I keep all my, I don't have any chickens, but it's where I keep all my spare parts and wheels and tires and stuff. And you can see on the left the honeycomb wheels. I got those a few years ago, and you can see on the right the Pontiac Rally 2 wheels. I do have a set of those, 2 sets, well, a set each. They're both 15 by 7s, and they're both original, and there were both options on this car here. So I don't know which way I'm going to be going, so I just wanted to show you how neat, how cool they look right there. So of course, the honeycomb wheels need to be further detailed. The Rally 2 wheel here, it's in better condition as far as it looks like it's been painted before and detailed. But I just rinsed them off with water with my garden hose. I did the same thing with the honeycomb wheel here. And but I really like the honeycomb wheel too. Once it's detailed and painted, it's gonna look awesome. So this is what I got here. I'm gonna put a set of wheels. I'm probably gonna just put one each on each side. That way, you guys can give me your comments and see which will look best on this car. For now, I'm just going to put them on. The tires are kind of old. They may not be good for the road, but for now, they're holding air, and it's going to be good enough for right now. So I'm going to put the set of wheels on and set this car on the ground. As God intended the cars to be on the ground and rolling. Okay, I removed the rotisserie from the front, and now, I got it set on blocks over there. on the front in preparation for the front end assembly, suspension assembly. For now, I'm going to go ahead and put in the wheels in the back just for safety, even though I have it on jack stands right there. But I want to put the wheels on to see what it's going to look like, huh? So let's see how I'm going to grab this 100-pound wheel. Feel like 100-pound anyway. And maybe I'll do it like this. Maybe it's not going to work that way. Okay. Let me get down this way. Let me get a close-up on this, guys. I'm really excited how this looks. Isn't that cool? Wow. I really like the look of this Rally 2 wheel. It's a classic that never gets old. Look at that thing. You tell me, even if there's any new car with wheels that look this good, I mean, you would really have to look really hard to find something this classic, this good on a classic car. I always like to have a classic wheel on a classic car because nothing else looks better. Nothing looks better. Look at that. Hey, now you can really tell, and you can see what I was talking about. I got the fan on, hope you can hear me. You can see now how you can see the brake drum through the holes, through the slots in the wheel. And that's what I meant when I said that that's the way we used to do it in the old school. And that makes it pretty neat setup right there. You can see the red on that, and I really like it. So instead of having a rusty looking drum or even a black painted drum, red looks better, or orange. Look at that from this angle. That thing just looks amazing. So the whole rear diff suspension is completed. Everything on it, from brakes to suspension to upgrades on the suspension as well. Look at that thing. Isn't that cool? Let me give another look from the back here. Got the sway bar, everything in place. Let me see this kind of chrome wheel on this side. It's harder to look at because I have limited space here. It looks pretty neat as well. With the correct trim and everything in the center cab, this thing could be awesome as well. So I'm gonna have both sets detailed and refurbished. I'm gonna do all that myself. And then I'll have the two sets, and whenever I feel like putting on one set and then switching to another set, because those things are pretty amazing, they're getting pretty hard to find and pretty expensive. And then, like I said, in the next video we're going to start putting together the front end suspension on that end, and then in preparation on getting that body over there ready to drop it on here. But we still have a lot of work on that body, floorboards, trunk pan, etc., etc. So this is a long time coming with this one. So thank you for watching my videos, guys, and I appreciate it. And there's my dog Mo, you know, looking things over. We're more like sleeping, looks like it right now. So thank you for watching. If I was able to be of some help and to give you some insight on these old cars, on this, especially on this 1972 Pontiac 400, GTO 404 speed that I'm putting together. You know, you let me know if you have any suggestions, any comments, and you guys have an awesome day. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.